Good morning, guys. Hope you're all doing well, that you are healthy and staying home, staying safe with your family and your loved ones. I think that today is the perfect day to embrace and start doing those things that you have always wanted to do and that you keep putting off. Start that routine that you've wanted to incorporate into your life, but always make excuses about not being able to follow through. This is the time where you can slowly do them and figure out how you're going to maintain them once life gets back to normal for you. One thing that I hear a lot from people is that they don't really have the time in the morning for God. It's not about having the time, it's about making the time and making God a priority in your life. And including me, I have sometimes failed to do so. And what happens those days is they aren't as positive or as fulfilling as they could have been. So take it from me and my experience of failures. I think we all have failed at one point or another, and I can say that my best days are when I make God my number one focus, my priority. And I've been doing that purposely for a while now, where I put him as my priority, but there have been those little hiccups along the way where I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I just feel like I'm not worthy or like I'm not in a good mood to be with God. How silly of me to think that. And if you're like me and have thought that, that is when you most should go to God, when you feel like you're not worthy, because he's our dad. Of course we're worthy. Like, would you say that to your child? Would you think that of your child, that they're not worthy to come to you when they're at their worst? No, you want them to come to you. So I think that that's what we need to do. Go to God when you feel the least lovable. Go to God when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I am no saint. I am not a perfect person to be preaching to you. I'm just sharing what I have learned throughout my journey and throughout my 37 years of life. So today I want to share with you this book, Wake Up to the Word, 365 Devotions to Inspire Each Day. I got this as a gift when my husband and I were just friends, literally just friends. And it was the most beautiful gift I've ever gotten from anybody. Like, especially from a man. Like, that's when, like, I think I didn't realize that things kind of started turning from a friendship to maybe more. With I didn't realize it even that day. I was just like, wow, that's so beautiful. It was so touching. I can't even explain it to you, how much that meant to me. So I want to share with you today's devotion. And oh, why am I in June? Whoa, we're April. Okay, April 2nd. So this is why I'm saying today is the day that you should embrace and start doing that thing, that routine, that step that you've always wanted to incorporate into your life. Today's the day. Sorry about the noise. Those are my kids. It's 9 a.m. and they're out there having fun. But they already had their minute with God. Like, the minute they open their eyes, I tell them, like, that's the moment you start your time with God. You say, thank you, God, for another day of life. You put your feet on the floor and thank you, God, for the ability to walk. So those are the type of things I teach them. It doesn't have to be like a full-on hour with God. No, it can just be as you're walking through your moments, the moment you wake up, the moment you open your eyes, your time with God begins. There's literally like no excuse to not have your moment with God. You don't need to do a devotion in the morning like I do to have your time with God. Your time with God can look so differently than my time with God. My husband's time with God, for example, includes having breakfast. So as he's having breakfast, he's reading the Bible and he's talking to God. And we call it breakfast with God. I mean, I call it breakfast with God. I don't know what he calls it. But so everybody's day looks differently. Everybody's time with God looks differently. It might be while you're taking a walk in the morning. I don't know. And if you fail one day to, like me, sometimes take out my devotion book because you're grumpy, it's never too late throughout the day to have your moment with God. And tomorrow's another day. But again, let's not be arrogant and assume that tomorrow we have tomorrow. No. Do it today. Don't just wait for tomorrow. The minute you remember, do it. But I also want to say, like, tomorrow you can try again and do it in the morning. Okay, so back to this. April 2nd, it's titled Focus, a central point of concentration. No, guys, this is my moment with God. Can you please, Maya? You need to respect my moment with God. Thank you. Close the door. Okay, thank you for my smoothie.
You're welcome.
Okay, please close the door.
Okay.
I actually already had my moment with God, but I really wanted to make this video, and they keep interrupting me. And that's another thing that I need to teach them. Like, knock on the door. Please respect that the door is closed. They're at an age where they can learn that. Sorry about that, guys. This is real life. What can I say? Okay, so let me read this to you. April 2nd. Focus, a central point of concentration. Often called the former best women's soccer player in the world, Mia Hamm says she's often asked, Mia, what's the most important thing for soccer players to have? With no hesitation, she answers, mental toughness. She explains that when 11 players want to knock you down, when you're tired or injured, you can't let any of it affect your focus. It is, says Ham, one of the most difficult aspects of soccer and the one I struggle with every game and every practice. It is impossible to succeed at anything without the power of focus. Whether you want to be a champion golfer, a champion mom, or a champion teacher, it is imperative that you learn to focus on the task at hand. And that means letting go of every other distraction. We each want to be a champion at something. We want to be winners in life. We want to succeed. Focus is the tool that God gives us to help us be who we say we want to be and do what we say we want to do. Hebrews 12:2 says, looking to Jesus, who is the leader and the source of our faith. And once you read your devotion, what you do is you ponder about it. You talk to God about it and try and figure out what he's trying to tell you that day, what the teaching is for you and your life in that moment, and how you're going to apply it, how that's going to come into your heart. So for me today, I can see that about mental toughness, work on my mental toughness. And I am mentally tough. I know that, and I thank God for that, or else I would not be here. I would probably be in a mental hospital forever. And I thank God for taking me through life and making me so mentally strong. And then I look at where it says that we all want to be a champion at something. So I think that goes for all of us. I think we all want to be good and great at least one thing that we can help others with or feel good about for ourselves. And what better moment than right now when we're at home in isolation, with social isolation. This is the moment where we can focus on one thing and get better at it, or actually start to learn about it and be great at it. So whatever that may be, this is your chance. I don't know, maybe it's learning guitar, maybe it's being a better public speaker, maybe it's focusing on your art. I don't know what it is, but I think today is the day where you can embrace that and decide that you are going to grow with that so that you can feel better and share it with others. and I think that